The NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. They go play action here on first down. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He completes it to Tate. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. How about this for an opening drive decision? And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake, but he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete here. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's third down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Detroit Lions trotting out on the field again, and the first year under Matt Patricia maybe hasn't gone how they had hoped. They're going to need a big second half of the season to get back into playoff contention, but the running game has been better.
It certainly has, because remember they drafted Kerryon Johnson out of Auburn in hopes that he would emerge as their lead back, and he's done exactly that, on pace to be a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie. They haven't had one of those since Reggie Bush in 2013. Unfortunately, they still feel a little bit like they're treading water, still trying to find their way. Even made a move on defense, though, to try and shore things up on the defensive line at the trade deadline, getting Snacks Harrison from the New York Giants in hopes of maybe slowing down teams like the Minnesota Vikings when they decide to run the ball inside.
A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Stafford. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Cleveland Browns, Charles, it's been an interesting season for them. There was optimism early, couple of wins, a lot of near wins, but a lot of that optimism has really faded, and those competitive games early in the year, they're now just losses.
And that's exactly where people were headed with their optimism. Hey, this is going to pay dividend.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. Some strong running at the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Throwing, Mayfield. He dumps it to Hyde. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Mayfield with it once more. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, Charles, a year ago at this time, I asked you what your Thanksgiving plans were, so I got a funny answer out of you last year. I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Trying to figure out exactly what time I can kick everyone out of my house so I can just hunker down and watch what's left of the football schedule. That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on. Your mother-in-law is coming in. It's going to be a great time at the Davis household.
But she can stay as long as she wants. She's family. But everyone else,
Get out.
They have an expiration time.
What about the dogs?
50-50. Depends on how they act that day.
Well, when things go awry, you can just get in the car and head out for the airport because you got a game that weekend.
I certainly do. I will be headed to Charlotte, Seattle, Carolina that Sunday. Looking forward to that one. But even while I'm jesting a little bit about people being at the house, some of you I'm not jesting about. Hurry up and get out.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back to throw, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there. And he ended up coughing it up.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Mayfield out to the flat for Hyde. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw, Mayfield. That is caught at the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. The quick slant caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you get to the red zone, if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kidd. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception, Mayfield finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And now Mayfield and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, it's Fells. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Mayfield to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jarrett Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Mayfield off the play fake. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Darren Fells, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. And so it goes for a rookie earlier in this first half, but he bounced down pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Jamal Agnew now to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. "14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a first down throw. Stafford looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself, right?
And a loose football, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Again, here's Blunt. And he works free. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, Stafford here. Going underneath to Blunt. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Myles Garrett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
With a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Oftentimes with these gadget plays, these fakes, we focus on the offense and say, hey, they practiced this week. They were ready. But the defense has practiced these situations too.
And just look at it this way. The two owners sitting up in their boxes, one is saying, boy, is my team well prepared, and the other one's like, I got to talk to my coaches. What were they thinking?
A first down throw from Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You know, Charles, it is hard to believe that we are sitting on the doorstep of Thanksgiving week. Already that time of year, but it always gives us good football. One of the games on Thanksgiving, Chicago and Detroit, that'll get the party started at 12:30 Eastern.
One of the traditional games, Detroit hosting, Dallas hosting, but in this case, we will stay in the Motor City. And this is the longest-running annual series in the NFL. A lot of people think about Detroit and Green Bay or Chicago and Green Bay. It's Detroit and Chicago. They've met at least once a year since 1930, 178 times total. And they just met 2 weeks ago in Chicago and going to do it again.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Stafford. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
They'll run again with Blunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Amir Abdullah taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it. And here we are today.
Mayfield on play action. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And he lost the football. LeGarrette Blount, the 20. Touchdown, Lions.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar, because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody. And we're back now here in Cleveland, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now it's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Brianne Bonnie Calhoun.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hurry up, here we go. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And I think the ball's out.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he finds a man with a crossing route, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Mayfield. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns get ready as they head back out there. They're just looking for one final stop here, put a capper on this affair.
Get this game over with. That's all they're talking about. It's that simple. Finish this thing off, and let's get to the locker room and celebrate.
Celebration, that's what they're hoping to do soon, but still a little work to do. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now it's Stafford. And this is intercepted. And it's a fumble. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. Now Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of the possession will stay the same.
And I have to admit, partner, that I often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just...
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
We got three. Here we go.
On second down, Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On third down, Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Lions have recovered.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact,
and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
Well, they didn't really. They have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Well, the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And they will be set up now as he...
Ladies and gentlemen,